Is it wrong to be aroused by her voice?
No, not at all.
Um,
It is the future.
how do I? Oh, get rid of that line. Boom. Ha. Sorry,
Are
still
we
got a line,
live?
man. We are indeed.
I'm not sure who's with us yet.
Could you? Oh no, I'm gonna move mine. Don't worry, you're fine. That's better. It was on
I
me.
think we look. I think we look just fine. I look a little dark. I don't know if it's the shadows being cast.
If your curtains are open, your light shifts quite heavily during the recording.
Yeah, no, I don't. I just keep them closed
Do
usually. It's just
you?
a little.
God.
I'm getting hit directly. So hold on, let me see. Move this over here.
Right, hang on.
That's better. That should be a bit better.
I'm just gonna make a quick drink because I'm a really annoying cough.
Who's with us? Oh, it's just me and Dave. Boom! BC Scrubs. First to the party. I'll be right back before we actually drop the boom. Be right back.
Is anybody out there? It is. Is that what he does? Does he just disappear, John Cena? Sorry, I've got a really annoying tickle in my throat. I don't know if you can tell, probably don't even notice, but I've switched the frames a little bit. So instead of those tiny little windows we've been sat in, is, is that on? We're back to catchphrase. Is that something you'd see Mr. Chip say as well? Here comes the next catchphrase. What's Mr. Chips doing? Did you have catchphrase in Australia, Scrubs? Top bar. Oh, no way. And all you gave us was Round the Twist with the worst theme tune I've ever heard. It's probably the only Roy Walker impression you've heard in years, right?
Here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here.
Oh, this guy's
Hello,
back. I'm going.
everybody. Dave left. I showed up. Dave left. We're like, it's like a gag.
Just making a cup of
Expect-
coffee.
Oh. Is this the John Cena podcast? Yeah, this is the new visible.
So shut your mouth.
John Cena, the number one heel in wrestling. Who would have thought? Are you watching Omega Bread? Do you watch WWE? Maybe you've already told me this. I am very excited for Saturday because it is another pay-per-view or PLE event, whatever they call it now.
PLE?
Lifelong mark. That's wrestling lingo. Who's your favorite guy, Omega? I don't know if you've told me this. Just Stone Cold.
Oh,
Just some wrestling chit chat before we begin.
You did give us Neighbours and Home and Away. Yeah, but we also got Danny Minogue, and I had a bit of a thing for Danny Minogue when I was a teenager when she was on Home and Away. I don't think she was kind of proper goth, but she had dark hair, and I think that's where my goth thing came from. Mr. Perfect or Angle? Hang on, It's Jeff Angle. No. Ken.
Yeah. Which would you say?
Bernard Angle.
No.
What is it?
Close. Kurt Angle.
Oh, it's Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Is that his real
Potentially,
name? If that
that's
is
his real
your
name.
real name.
That's his real name. He was actually
Is
a,
it?
Olympian gold medalist.
Was he?
Yeah, an actual wrestling, like legit wrestling gold medalist. He won it with a broken neck.
What do you mean legit? Are you saying normal wrestling isn't real?
Amateur wrestling, meaning like combat. Let's get something straight,
Now
David.
that's combat.
Wrestling, professional wrestling is fine art. If you understand that do a power bomb is a hidden gem, you'll understand what I mean.
Oh, dude, we haven't done a Hidden Gems episode since that
Brett.
episode.
No, we haven't. We need to do another one. Yeah.
Do do
I'm
do.
just answering Omega Bread. Bread is definitely my favorite. I've gotten to meet him twice, which was really cool. Put the glasses on me. I was like a little kid in a candy store. Um, but as a Bret Hart fan, Mr. Perfect and Kurt Angle are people who I put at the top of the list of great performers. Especially Kurt Angle. I think he's probably the greatest to
Why?
ever. Um, the diversity of what he could do, who he could work with, how strong he was, his actual athletic ability, just he wasn't afraid to defy the odds. And he could legitimately wrestle somebody in like a display of amateur wrestling if he was facing somebody like Brock Lesnar, who they were both amateur wrestlers to the point of being Olympians. So when they would fight, sometimes they would do a little bit of shoot wrestling. So it would be like a real
Is that when they get
little
them in the ring?
combat. No, but they would have little contests that the audience would understand like that is actually displaying your ability and your coordination. So when you're like a lifelong mark, as Omega Bread said, you kind of watch wrestling with a different viewpoint of what makes somebody good or a good talent,
Okay.
let's say. It's almost like watching an actor and understanding a character actor versus a lead actor and
Or
appreciating
or a
things that
great
they bring to the
guitarist
table.
as a lead
Exactly.
rather than rhythm.
Exactly. All that kind of stuff. Yeah. So when you see how the show is worked and that little meta blend of real life and fake, it's like any other reality show that they think you're watching, something that isn't scripted, right? It's scripted sports. Imagine. Okay. Pro
Um,
wrestling. Yeah, there is.
Eric
Pro wrestling
broke Hidden
comics very
Gems.
much. Eric Broken Gems. Eric broke Hidden Gems. It was a great pick. If it's the podcast, I was like, excuse me. Yeah. Thanks, Omega Bread. That's a nice compliment.
um,
Should we begin?
I
Oh,
can
go
actually
ahead, David.
confirm, as I've forgotten until a couple of months back. I remember my mate tried to make me watch wrestling when I was in my early teens, and I absolutely hated it.
You watched with the wrong friend. That's what I say. You did enjoy Do a Power Bomb, didn't you?
I haven't read it.
We should make it a book club. We did. We were
Yeah,
supposed to do a book club about it. I did with. Anyways, it never happened. We were supposed to do it. I was prepped. Great book.
yeah.
Hidden
Well,
gem.
so I understand. I heard it's a hidden gem. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We can get started. We can
Do you
drop the
like the new
boom.
frame?
I can't really. It's smaller.
No, it's bigger. We're bigger on screen now.
We are bigger on screen. That's what I meant by being smaller. There isn't more, like the trim
Yes,
around it. It's
the trim
yeah,
is
that's what I meant.
totally reduced.
It's
I've ripped it out
it's reduced.
because when I was trying
Okay.
to make
Yes.
reels and stuff, I have to zoom into these tiny little rectangles, and it just looks shit.
Got you.
So I thought,
Got you.
like,
Smart
screw it.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is good. We are bigger. I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
if I should need to look bigger on camera.
Hidden gem because Dave didn't find it. Like the clitoris. That's a hidden gem. I've
Like the which one?
Nothing. So, do you want to begin?
What did you say? Say it to my face.
Scrub said it's because it's a hidden gem. Dave didn't find it,
Oh.
and I compared it to the clitoris. So we can.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, see, I'm happy I heard what you said.
I found it.
Once upon.
It was.
I think you like it.
No, I'm not going to say what I was about to say. Nothing.
I agree, Omega Bread,
What?
with your comment. He said there's so many parallels between pro wrestling and comics that I genuinely think you'd like it if you gave it a chance. I've tried.
I've tried
Tried to
several
convert
times.
'em.
I watched it with other people in my 20s. Like, no.
The wrong people. That's that's all it
The
is.
wrong people on TV in the wrong tights.
No, the wrong people you watched it with. That's why. It's like not podcasting with me. It's the same thing.
Ah,
You'd be podcasting with the wrong person.
got ya. Yeah, that does feel like cheating.
There you go.
I need to.
Oh,
I
hey,
can't
Eric's
move
mom.
it. Nothing.
Hi, Mom. Yes. I think she's probably laughing her guts out if she's watching. Yeah. Should we drop the boom?
Yeah. Oh, one sec. I just realised my mistake. I haven't actually got my notes on screen ready to go.
I did something different this
Coffee,
week.
Sound check, headphones. What did you do?
I just put all the things that I wanted to talk about in wish list, and now I can just pull it up from the website and look at all the details and
Oh,
release dates without having to like transfer notes and
do you have to
I'm
do a
like,
new
"Ah,
wish
it's
list
just
each
there."
episode?
I'll just add to it
All right.
because that's where I look for stuff, what's coming out on these sites where you can buy stuff. So I just put it in a cart on a wish list. Like, hey,
Ah,
let's talk about
good
it.
move.
Pull it up. Kind of cheating, but why not? Marvel Man, what's up? Man, I'm making bread.
Who's ready for incoming? And it seems really
Yeah.
what's my t-shirt? It's not the best detective agency, which is a reference to Critical Role. Even though I don't play Dungeons and Dragons, but I used to like watching Critical Role. Series 2, Campaign 2 was really good. That's how I wanted to know how Dungeons and Dragons worked, so I watched that to figure it out. And I love the way they did it is because it's voice actors, so like they're already acting. Like it, half the job's done. So it's not like watching some randoms round a table in Shropshire. The people who can't communicate with the outside world. It's yeah, it was really entertaining. I loved it. It's worth a watch. You can watch it on YouTube. But yeah, I would go campaign 2 because campaign 1, it's part way through when it starts, and they've all got really weird pseudo English accents for no apparent reason. Though they've made an animated series of campaign 1 on Amazon, and it's really good. That's quite a fun watch, but it's very much an adult cartoon. Very much. Oh. So I'm doing the show on my own tonight. Hello. You all right?
Yeah, I just wanted to grab something for reference. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, let's begin. If you guys are ready, do this.
Do it.
All right, 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom. Welcome back, everybody, to the Omniverse Comics Guide podcast. We are your Omniverse Comics Guide guys. I'm Eric. That's my pal Dave.
Hello.
Dave, what's on your mind today?
What's
Oh,
on my
hello.
mind? My
Pope Dave, speak to us.
I have been the Pope at a gig previously. That's what I dressed up as. This
I
was
believe it.
made by my daughter Lexitron. She's 7 years old, and she said you have to wear it next time you do the podcast. I wear it for you. So it's a crown, and it says King Omniverse Dave Molyneux. So I guess
You
you're
are the
my
king of
court jester.
You are the king,
or my
yeah.
queen. I'm not sure which. You choose.
Either or. Yeah, you're definitely the king of the Omniverse. I'll be.
I don't know about that.
Can I be a duke? Give me a duke.
A kick-ass Duke will lead us to kings.
Right?
Will lead
Yeah.
us to kings.
I don't know if I want to be the queen, but
Get better outfits,
yeah, that's
according
true.
to Priscilla.
You're definitely the court jester of this.
Yes,
kingdom,
I'm no
bud.
king.
You're king and court jester. That's for sure.
I'm the bastard king.
I'm a loyal subject.
You're
and
more
host.
than that.
Everybody watching on Twitch, thank you for the usual suspects who show up. We always appreciate your support and your comments during the show. Um, Everybody watching on YouTube, thank you for joining us for another incoming. It's already June. We're talking about June. I'm losing track.
I know.
Jesus, I know
Yeah,
it's
it's
going fast.
mid-year.
So
Jeez. Hello.
everybody watching us, smile on our face. We're not upset that it's already halfway through the year. Hit that rate and subscribe button. We really appreciate it. If you leave a comment and share the podcast with anybody you know who likes comics or wants to know which comic books to read. And of course, if you the one-stop shop is omniversecomics.guide. That's where you're going to find all of our podcast archives, our interviews, collector item specials, our reading orders, which are what? Second to none.
Second to none.
Because Dave is the best and the most meticulous at making comic book reading orders. Check us
I
out,
heard
Omniverse.
anal in there, but I'll take the actual words that you did say.
You know, omniversecomics.guide. That is your back door to reading orders. Sneaky back door to reading orders.
Backstage
See?
entrance to reading
That's
orders.
right. Exactly. VIP entrance. Okay.
Just for birthdays.
Incoming.
Yeah, incoming.
I did a theme.
Oh, you cheeky little themes. What's your theme? Tell me.
I went Matt Murdock with this one. Going in blind.
Going in blind the whole way
Yes.
through.
Meaning, I don't
Read
think.
nothing already that's
I've
on
read-
the list.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Oh.
There's one or two things that I may have pre-ordered, but I can't really be an expert in the things that I'm actually interested in. So, we'll see what happens. I hope I don't steer anybody wrong. But this is just my going through the catalog like a kid and wondering, what do I want?
That's the
what
best
this
way
is.
to do it.
That's how I do it.
Yeah.
Or what I want to tell my friends about. Hey, buy that. Get that thing. It's really good.
And then lend it to me.
Yeah. Well, I usually
But
already
you've
own
already
it.
got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pardon me. Who's first this week? Is it me?
I think it's you.
All right. Going in blind, but this piqued my interest. This is a Marvel Epic Collection, Silver Surfer. Title of it, if I can. Why did the title of it go away like that? It is George Perez
It is.
collection.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at why it's not showing me the title of it, which is really
can't
bothering me.
remember
Oh, there it is.
either.
Into the Outer Void.
Into the
That's
outer
the-
void.
It collects. This is why it collects issues 111 to 122, which is the volume that is just before. So it's volume 12 because I own volume 13, which was the J.M. DeMatteis era
Yes.
of Silver Surfer. So this buttons up to that. Now, I never knew that George Perez had a little stint on Silver Surfer. I wasn't aware of it. I'm not sure if it was any good, but I like the Silver Surfer a lot.
There's a
And
big
I love George
revelation in it.
Perez. Okay. So it 448 pages. Still pretty good value for that many comics in it. I mean, George Perez, why not take a look at his Silver Surfer?
But it's just his writing, not his art.
Okay, that is very good to let us in on. That's why I went in blind on this one. So Scott Eaton is the artist, or is it a variety of artists on this one?
I think it's a variety. And sorry, what was the first issue?
Issues 111 to 112.
Oh.
111, sorry, to 122. It also has Silver Surfer Dangerous Artifacts and Silver Surfer Ashcan #1. So there's a couple bonus things in there as well.
Okay.
Just the same. George Perez is a storied creator. I always elevate his artistry above his writing skills, but that's because he was George Perez, the master illustrator. But he's been known to have long runs and plotting and storytelling with Teen Titans and Wonder Woman and the like. So I'd be interested in his take on Silver Surfer.
To be fair, this is a run I would like to read as well, because I've only read bits of it, but Janice Bell is in it for some. So you do get some of your other cosmic characters, but a lot of the covers are mostly just the Surfer on the front, and it's really hard to tell what you're going to get. And I genuinely
Interesting.
can't remember what happens.
Well, yeah, if you're a fan of the Surfer, it's nice to see that this entire run is slowly being collected, and naturally there's a movie coming out, so it all makes sense. But they have been printing Silver Surfer stuff again more regularly, and just to know like volume 13 of this has come out. The J.M. DeMatteis and um, Ron Garney, Pelletier was on the art. Like it's some good stuff in this. So to know
Yeah.
this is its precursor, I'm interested to read it.
And it's the first time they've collected these issues.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's always exciting.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a reprint. Yes.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Screw you, reprints. I nearly included a reprint actually, but I didn't. Good story, Dave.
I'll keep the reprints listed
Oh,
for all my
crap.
reprint people. Uh yeah, that's my first pick.
Okay, nice. Nice start with the old surfy surfs. I'm gonna go to the DC universe for my
Yeah.
first choice, and it is literally in the title: the DC Universe by Steve Ditko, omnibus, oversized hardcover,
Ah,
as they always tend to be. It's by Steve Ditko, mate. I don't know about you, but while I always like to credit Steve Ditko and his role in the creation of some of the characters of the Marvel Universe, I'm not as into him as I'm into Kirby. I don't know how
how
you
come?
feel. It's. I think part of it was when I started reading comics, they used to reprint some of his stories. And I never, no, because that's a stupid reason. But it's true, I never got into his art. He was doing Machine Man by the time I was reading the stories, I think in Transformers backup stories in Marvel UK. So he used to have a Transformers story and then a Machine Man story for a bit. But I just didn't like his art. It's not quite as dynamic as Kirby's. It's not quite as in your face, I think, and that's part of the kind of bombastic nature of Kirby that I really like. But
Yeah.
I've never, I don't know. But I like his stuff. Or I'm more intrigued by his older ideas because this book, seriously, man, this is big. It's 1,264 pages, and you get stories from. Get ready. Detective Comics, Legends of the DC Universe, Tales of the New Gods, House of Secrets, World's Finest Comics, Adventure Comics, Showcase, Superman, House of Mystery, First Issue Special, Beware the Creeper, Cancel Comics Cavalcade, Strange Adventures, Legion of Superheroes, Shade the Changing Man, Plop, Weird War Tales, Secrets of Haunted House, The Unexpected, Ghosts, Mystery in Space, Time Walk, Stalker, Amazing World of DC Comics, The Outsiders, Hawk and Dove, and Man Bat. Otherwise, not much there really. But you can tell from that you're going to get a sprinkling of things here and there. So he created Shade the Changing Man, the original series in the 70s. That was one of my first ever comics. So I'm actually going to find out what issue was one of my first, probably my first comic book. My first actual American comic. I mentioned last week, like Amazing Spider-Man 316, when I went and bought one. But I went to a train station when I was a kid, and my dad would take you on a train journey because it's one of those things you do in the late 70s. Nothing else to do. Go on a train journey? Yeah, why not? So he bought us each like a comic or something, and I got this thing, and I remember the visuals from it. And I found out years later it's from Shade the Changing Man. So that might well have been my very first American comic book. But you didn't really see them around
Cool.
otherwise. So yeah, so between that and also Beware the Creeper, which he did, I think he created the Creeper, if I remember
I
rightly.
think so. Yeah, I think so.
Otherwise, it's like a lot of random stories and one-off stories, like sci-fi and horror stuff from Mystery in Space and Time Warp and House of Secrets and those kind of books. So it's going to be a real mix of stuff. But there's something.
Do you like that? The mix of
Yeah, I like the mix because
Mhm.
otherwise, it gives you a chance to read stuff you may not do. A while ago, they said they were going to release Time Warp, the 8-issue 70s series, as a book, as a collected edition. I think it was supposed to be deluxe, and then they just pulled it. So these are only the Ditko stories from that series. But I really want to read it because it was all stuff that doesn't tie into DC when they were being a bit more experimental. And you get stories by big name creators. Like all the covers are by Mike Kaluta, and they look just amazing. And I desperately want them to release that. But yeah, this is a chance just to get some really random stuff. And I love the randomness of 70s DC. And it might well have been around the time that they imploded, but it doesn't mean they weren't putting out interesting ideas. Almost feels like a lot of those kind of books are their pre Vertigo, you know, non DC universe, weird
Hmm.
ideas. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm gonna give this a shot, but it is a real it's a bit of a stab in the dark because I don't even know how complete some of these stories are going to be. You know, I mean, Legion of Superheroes, you get issues 267, 268, 272, 274, 276, 281. Does that mean the story isn't complete, or are they just kind of back up? I didn't look that far into it. There's so much to investigate, but I'll investigate when it turns up. Thanks.
Hmm. Nice. Yeah, those are cool. If you're it's almost like that little bit of history that you get to look back on and see what transpires because this guy, you know, dipped his toe into the DC pool, just like Jack Kirby with stuff he did at DC. Like it's not as impactful as the Marvel stuff, clearly, but it's pretty impactful for that little bit of time he was there.
It
The New
became more
Gods,
impactful in time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the myth of him having come through and drawing those characters that are almost like molds, not fully completed,
Uh huh.
where everyone kind of wanted to, it's, you know, they left an imprint. Yeah, I agree with you though about Kirby and Ditko. I think Kirby is like a John Romita Jr. when it comes to the Marvel universe. You don't mind him if he's the one drawing any of the books. If it has to be one person to draw everybody, he's kind of drawn everyone enough where you recognize the Marvel universe with his
Yeah.
pencil.
Yeah.
There's, you know, not to say that he's the best at all of them, but Kirby was like that. It's like you just saw the Marvel universe being drawn by him, but there are a few artists where it's like, well, that's the guy who should draw Spider-Man. Like that's the right
Yeah.
character for that story.
And that's the funny thing with this is I still associate Ditko very, very heavily with Marvel, but this is all his DC stuff as far as I'm aware.
Hmm.
So like, he's clearly had an impact too over there. So let's see what it was like.
Right, right. That's cool. Very cool. I like it. Wasn't on my radar, so I appreciate you throwing those ones out there and kind of piquing my interest.
It's my pleasure, mate.
All right. Number two for me. I'm gonna go with one that I've pre-ordered. So I've committed to getting this book and at least reading it once. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've tried to read it digitally when there was a sale. I said, you know what? I've heard nothing but good things about this series, so I'll give it a try. It's Kieran Gillen, The Wicked and the Divine Compendium. This comes out June 10th. It was on sale for a steal when it was listed. Like I want to say almost like $20 was what it was listed as like a pre-sale. So I just said, why not? I could get the
That's
entire
cheap.
series for almost what feels like an error.
Yeah.
Like they probably made a mistake
It might be.
listing it at that
Yeah.
price, but it's coming. So I was kind of lukewarm about it because it felt like one of those books when I first read it, kind of like uh, East of West. The people who love it, they swear by it. It's the greatest thing of all time. So you go into it sometimes with those expectations, but it's like, oh, this is a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah.
Either you get it or you don't.
Uh
So I'm
huh.
gonna try to read the whole thing and really give it a fair shake.
I think
Can't go
you're
wrong for the
going in the
price.
right way.
Yeah.
Unlike what we
Did
were
you read?
saying before. Yeah. Well, I got so far and I just couldn't bear it anymore.
Yeah, and again, that's part
It's
of
Gillen. I just don't like Gillen at all.
yeah. Yeah, and I feel that way for some writers too. It's nothing that you're not wrong for liking them. I just can't see what it is. So why am I gonna waste my time there?
Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing. Give it a go, and it's a really like the art is incredible. Jamie McKelvey's art is stunning.
Yeah,
It's Jamie McKelvey, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, the name I can there's yes, McKelvey.
Yeah.
I confuse Declan Shelvey and Jamie McKelvey.
Weirdly, I think that's what I was. That's what was making me second guess. Like,
Oh yeah, I never want to make that mistake because it's like Sean Murphy and Sean Phillips, not the same name, but they're constantly on Image Comics, working with sometimes the same people. You know that? Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, The Wicked and the Divine. This collects. The art does look incredible.
it is.
1,448 pages. I don't know how many issues this is. It doesn't list it here. It's the complete story in one binge-ready volume. Give it a shot. I'll be there for a while, that's for sure. 1,448 pages. It's a two week read.
Yeah, easily. Don't read the comments. Just don't be put off by me or Omega
Oh,
Bread.
okay, but here's the deal. Again, I got it on a complete steal. Like it's the price of a six-issue trade.
That's
Pretty,
nuts.
yeah,
Didn't they
it
do
was
the same with
ridiculous.
Doctor Fate?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Fate was there pretty low, as well as Wildcats. Wildcats was
Was it?
listed at like $36 and it goes for 80. So it's like I'll read that for that's a steal. And if it's shit, then throw it out. Okay, I read
Or
it on
give it to your
vacation. It
mate.
entertained me. Or give it to my friend. Say, yeah, you'll probably like it. No, I'm just playing.
Nice. No, that's cool. That's cool. It is good to try these things. I think one of the good things about the compendiums from Image is that you can get the whole run in a chunker for the most part because it's a perfect format. I think for Image titles that it's they're not epically long like some of the old Vertigo titles, but they're not necessarily short. So you might get like a 40-issue storyline, and a compendium is a brilliant way to collect it. Why not?
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like the format, the setting that like maybe me reading it in six-issue chunks or whatever the case was, and then reading something in between and going back to it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a point.
Sometimes it's different for everybody because there's the monthly reader that are able to keep up that way. There's the trade reader, and then there's people like myself who like a binge
Yeah,
read. Like I want to stay familiar because I forget stuff when you read as much as we do, right?
I know. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I'm doing a Tim Seeley read right now between
Ooh.
Nightwing and Revival. We're just going back and forth, like trade to trade, kind of
Uh-huh.
in chunks. And I'm like, don't confuse which book you're reading because you start to see certain patterns, but it's not hard to confuse.
No. A
Like I know when I'm reading
few more
Revival.
costumes in one than the other.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay,
Okay,
take it away, Dave. Take it away.
my tooth tonight is from Marvel. It's my only Marvel choice, and it's a surprise one for me. So it's Alien Galaxy of Nightmares trade paperback. It's by Philip Kennedy Johnson, art by Salvador LaRocca and others. It collects the Alien 2021 series, 12 issues, that ran four, and the follow-up series that ran for 6 issues, plus the annual. And if I'm completely honest, I probably wouldn't be interested if not for PKJ, because
Yeah.
that's the sell for me. I think I haven't read any of his Marvel stuff, but this isn't really Marvel stuff, is it? It's Alien. So
Right.
I'm hoping it doesn't hold back, because again, like Marvel, when they've come close to doing mature readers books over the years, they kind of dip their toe in and then dry it off really quick and just pretend none of it ever happened. But I've heard good things about their Alien. I've heard good things about that Alien series, so it's probably because of Philip Kennedy Johnson. It's 456 pages, and it is out on June 3rd, and so that's a nice little chunky chunks
Hmm.
of xenomorphic glory. Ooh, that's what I wake up with some mornings.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Chestburster.
Philip Kennedy Johnson is a pretty trustworthy name thus far in his career. I haven't read a ton, but I liked his Superman stuff a lot and
Yeah.
his
Oh, and
The
Last
Last
God.
Gods. Last Gods. Sometimes they change the title on the trade dress on the
Do
so
they?
the cover I have is The Last God, but it was re-released as the Fellspire Chronicle.
Oh, because
It's
it
like
was
the
meant to be a longer running series, I think, wasn't it? It was meant to have, that's
so
volume one of the Felspire Chronicles. No, it was supposed to be a trilogy or
well,
something.
when I saw the book back on the shelf under that title, it made me think like, oh, is this the next volume? But it was just I'm like, why did they change the way it's presented? It's The Last God. Like that's what it's called. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of confusing, but his stuff he's pretty creative. He's pretty detailed. He digs deep into like the mythology of whatever he's working with.
Yep.
And yeah, I like his stuff so far.
Me
So nice
too.
pick.
Omega Bread said, always thought of you as more of a predator, Dave. Actually, I'm technically more of a face hugger.
Oh boy, I don't even want to know what Omega Bread's saying in those comments right now. Are we on to number
You're
three?
number three.
All right, all right, all right. I am again a blind buy. Surprisingly, I didn't read the entirety of this run, and it might be because it wasn't the best part of that era. But this is, I'm not sure if this is a re-release. Don't think it is. Batman Detective Comics, the New 52 Omnibus, Volume
No.
1.
Yeah, it's the first time they've done it this way.
Yes. So this collects, from what I remember, Tony S. Daniel had the book at the beginning, and I remember reading the first 8 issues of this, and it does play a part in a major character's transformation. Like this is, I think, the story that
In issue
you would,
one.
yeah. So it's found here in this collection. So if we were doing a Dave reading order and you wanted to know where something happened to a character, you'd want to begin with this series. Would fill you in on those details.
Oh,
And it's listed that James Tinian the fourth is a writer, the main writer, I guess, of the series. I'm not sure how long Tony Daniel was on it, but
I can't
I know
remember.
he began the run, and then James Tinian takes over for a time, and I'm pretty certain somewhere after this, it's handed over to Francis Manapul and Brian Buccellato for a little bit.
Yeah,
They get
that's right.
a little run on that. That was a lot of fun. So
What?
if you find this for a good price, I would give it a read. I would pick it up. I'm not sure if I'll invest in the full price of it because there's other stuff from that era of Batman that is pretty strong, but I'm willing to give this a second read because I didn't complete it. So let's see where it goes.
What
Hopefully it
issues are
holds
in
up.
it?
So it's issues 0 to 26 and Detective Comics annuals 1 and 2.
Okay.
Uh,
Does that
this
include the
acclaimed run.
decimal
That's what it
issues?
says.
Yeah, they might be pushing it a bit. It's got some. It's got some interesting bits in it, and if you're a Batman completist, it's worth picking up because you also get your. There'll be the tie-ins to the deaths in the family. What was it called?
Death of the
Death
Family, I
of the
think, as well as
Family. Yeah, you're
Court of
right.
Owls tie into everything.
Yeah, there's a bit of
Um,
Court of Owls. Yeah, it's an odd book, but it's probably worth a little look. Volume two, I reckon, is probably going to be stronger. And if you're a completist, you're probably going to want to pick this up to get volume two.
I don't remember how Volume 2 ends in the New 52 or who was working on it, but I did enjoy at least the artwork of the Francis Manapul run. Like it was a lot of fun. I
Volume
remember it
two
coming out.
would end with Gordon as the Batman in his bunny rabbit thing. So there are some interest because that's part of
But
that.
that's
Is the
from the Batman. But that would they would include that in this too, eh?
uh,
That's from the Batman run.
but he's in
No, isn't
both.
it?
He's in both. It's in
Ugh.
both titles. He's Batman in both those titles.
Yeah.
Pick up Detective Comics Omnibus, kids.
Don't complete. No. Check it out. It's listen, it's being released. Like I said, blind buy. Not really sure how it holds up, but I'm willing to check it out for the right price. It's my number
Cool.
3. Dave,
Excellent.
we got a commercial break today.
We've got a commercial break. Should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, because it's only been a couple of weeks since I've done one. It shouldn't be too long, but still, strap on. New to the Omniverse this very week, we have the following stuffs. Character reading orders. We have the original Vril docs of DC's pre-Crisis Earth 1 continuity. And getting the spotlight in our Brainiac reading order from 1958 to present. That's right, he doesn't just stop at Crisis. He's appeared since Crisis. Ooh. Events and crossovers for Marvel. 1993's Infinity Crusade wraps up the original Infinity trilogy with Earth's heroes facing down Adam Warlock's good side, and it's all broken down, it's all in order, with all the fallout you need to know what to pick up next. DC Comics, Superman stars in the frankly bizarre one-man JLA Secret Origins from 1999. And let's see what's in podcast and video. Well, you can
Ooh.
find out we're most looking forward to with our May 2025 incoming collected editions episode, and get some old school web slingers story recommendations with our top 10 80s Spider-Man episode. And finally, background reading. If you want to know what to read before Spider Island, then look at What to Read Before Spider Island. Couldn't have made it easier for you, mate. And that's also, you'll also find the official handbook of the Marvel Universe Book of the Dead, Where Are They Now? Entries, which begin with Airwalker and the Ancient One to kick us off. So that was previously a subscriber exclusive, and now it's available to all. And so was our Who's Who Surviving the DC Universe semi-regular feature, which starts with entries for Abel of the House of Mystery, as well as an entry for, oh, bear with me, Abner Zagar, I can do this, Abner Zagar, Wrath, and Ghast, who are the Demons 3, who are old Justice League villains.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Can you say it one more time? I missed that.
Mother flipper. Abner Zagar.
Were you saying someone's... Sorry, say it again.
Abner Zagar, Wrath, and Ghast.
You're passing gas.
Yes.
Oh.
I really should have muted.
Nice. Very nice. As always, check out those reading orders. Second to none. Is that the end of the commercial break?
Yes.
All right. Dave, you're number 3.
Well, hello, number 3. What are you? Look, you're a pretty boy. That's right, your Superman Adventures Compendium 1 trade paperback.
What?
Oh, yeah. Check it. We were wanting this for a while. This has been on some of our lists. And now you can get the compendium of Superman Adventures by Paul Dini, Mark Miller, Scott McCloud, Rich Burchett, and others. It collects Superman Adventures 1 to 29, Superman Adventures Annual 1, Batman and
I've
Superman.
never seen this.
I'm talking Batman and Superman Adventures, World's Finest number 1, and Superman Adventures Special, which is Superman Lobo, Misery in Space. It's 928 pages, and it's out in June on the 17th. I thought that might make you happy, but I had a weird feeling you might not have seen it.
Not at all. This is cool.
That's such a win, right?
Such a win.
So that should be 2 books.
Awesome. That's very cool, because I've heard very good things about these stories, that they've got a charm to them, like just a classic comic book charm that's timeless, you know. And you can't go wrong with sometimes just good old 1-2 issue stories, or like a pardon me, like a cartoon episode.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to fit in and around the animated series, but if you haven't watched the animated series, it also doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, we included at least one of the stories in our top 10 Mark Miller episode.
Yes, you did.
And this is where Mark Miller kind of made his name. And I know he might be pretty renowned for shocking comics these days, but these were not shocking comics. These are just really well-told stories. I mean, before that, he was doing Sonic the Hedgehog. And so this was like his next book as a step up. And I believe he won awards for it.
Yeah. I almost gave it away. I don't know if I should spoil it. It's done now. I could say it. The guest that we had actually was talking about these very stories that you're mentioning.
No way.
Yeah, it was brought up. And I did the slip of the tongue of saying Mark Millar instead of
Did you have
Miller.
to drink?
I did. Or I gave a wink to the camera so everyone knows that I realized what I did.
I'll make sure I keep that wink in.
Yeah, I mean, I look extremely tired, but I was having a great time. I hope everyone enjoys it when we release it. Anyways,
no doubt. Your interview's always a winner, man.
Sorry for interrupting you during... Pardon?
Sorry, I could see you losing your mind.
Yeah, no, I was like, I didn't even know this was happening, and how could I have missed it? Thank you for sharing it. That's great.
Cool.
That guy genuinely got me like, that's crazy.
It's great to bring good news. This is really good. I'm probably more excited about that book than any other in June.
Yeah, now I am too. I only pre-ordered the Wicked and the Divine, but this is definitely a win. And it's nice because you've got, at least when movies come out, they start having a little bit more respect for the characters' back catalog and finding ways to profit off of it. But the fans win because we finally get like,
we
that's
get
awesome.
all the stuff.
It's out there. There's gonna be a lot of Superman books on the table this year.
Oh, there will be. Omega Bread has said in the comments that Mark Miller does a lot of this. It's quite pared down in tone compared to his usual shtick, and it works remarkably well. There's a charm and lightness to it that's actually refreshing. So it's not remotely what you expect of a Mark Miller book. In answer to your question, BC Scrubs, how does it compare to Batman Adventures? I don't know, because I haven't read it yet. But I read bits, like the story I mentioned last time in the Mark Miller Top 10 episode. Go watch that as well, after this.
Yes, absolutely. Stick with us first. Nice pick. Thank you for the pick. Awesome. Um, my number four.
Yarp.
All right. I am gonna go with. Let me make sure I see the
Oh, is
publisher's
it
name
4?
correctly.
What was your 3? Sorry.
My three was Batman, Detective Comics
Oh, shit.
Omnibus 1.
I didn't make a note.
When,
Bear with me.
yeah, that's okay.
Don't want typing all the way through you talking.
No, that's okay.
There you are.
So my number four is an Image Comics. How did they title it here? I want to say because it's cute. Stray Dogs, the Omnibite edition. So good cover price, pretty good page count, 275 pages. It collects 5 issues of Stray Dogs, 1 to 5, Stray Dogs Free Comic Book Day issue, and Stray Dogs Dog Days 1 and 2. It kind of looks from the artwork that's previewed kind of like Disney animation style. I'm not sure if it's related to any franchise, but
No.
I'm a fan of dogs. Own a dog. I love coming home to the dog, but this is described as a heartbreakingly adorable suspense thriller. Stray Dogs. So in this suspenseful series, readers meet Sophie, a dog who can't remember what happened. She doesn't know how she ended up in this house. She doesn't recognize any of these other dogs. She knows something terrible happened, but she just can't recall. Wait, where's her lady? It's all coming back to her now, and it's enough to raise Sophie's hackles. I want to know why Sophie's hackles are raised. Now Sophie has to figure out where she is, what's happening, and how she's going to survive this. So, yeah. It's the what's the term there? Heartbreakingly part is making me a little trepidatious to read it, but also there's adorable suspense. So I'm gonna bring you
Yeah.
back.
I think it's like if you imagine Disney. Not, I'm trying to think who you compare it to, like as like an adult thing, but I can't think of something. But it's like it's quite a dark Disney aimed at adults vibe.
Yeah, that's what I got from it. Oh, let me
Yeah.
give proper respect to the people listed. Tony Fleeks and the artist's name Trish Frostner and Brad Simpson are the illustrators on this. Tony Fleeks. Better not
Yes.
make me cry, Tony.
Don't make him cry, Tony, or I'll have words, mate.
That's right.
We'll send the boys from
That's
the
my-
chat round.
Yeah, and they're global. We got an international connection.
We're a syndicate
Australia.
now.
Yeah, Australia to North America, through Europe, some in Asia, believe it or not. Take it away, Dave. Number 4. Before I
Okay.
say something ridiculous.
My number 4 is a surprise to me. So it's written by Joshua Williamson, which is one reason why it's a surprise to me. But it's also, well, let's be fair. Codename G.I. Joe Deluxe Edition, Book 1. Now, I had no intention of ordering the Transformers Deluxe Edition. But I think this is where my affection for G.I. Joe comes out. Like when I see G.I. Joe in a thing, I'm like, I've got to have it. And I always think I love Transformers more, and I probably do. But there's still something about the Joes ever since I was a kid. I've always loved it. It's kind of like if you made the army superheroes, because they've all got funny little code names. They've all got their little speciality. There's a bloke that has a parrot and he dresses like an old school sailor. There's one that's just in like kung fu outfit, like a kung fu outfit with a shirt off, called Quick Kick. I mean, that's one of the crappiest names for anything you've ever heard. But I love it. And like Snake Eyes is still to this day one of the coolest characters I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I kept my Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow figures when I sold all my GI Joes. Regrettably, why did I do it? I actually don't know, but I loved my Joes. I had tons of them. Before they were GI Joe over here, they were Action Force because GI Joe is very American sounding.
American, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was like the theme tune to the film changed. It was Action Force, International Heroes, but they've all got American accents. Action Force are there. It was quite something.
That's such a funny remix to the original
I
song.
know, it's weird, right? And then when you watch it now, I tried to watch it with my daughter, but it was the GI Joe version, and I'm going, this sounds weird. And now she knows why I shout Cobra la 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 randomly at things. Don't. Why do I do it? It was Cobra La. It's one of the worst names for anything ever. Still, I love GI Joe. Clearly, the art is by Tom Riley, Andrea Milano, and Jordi Belair. It collects Duke numbers 1 to 5, starring the fairly famous and normally one of their dullest characters. But apparently, this series is quite good. Cobra Commander, gotta love him. Voice of Starscream as well. Ooh, how does that work? And the GI Joe versus Transformers kind of mythos. Has he got the same voice as they've got the same voice as each other? But that's 1 to 5, and then part of the Energon Universe 2024 special. It's 256 pages, oversized hardcover. It's out on June the 24th. And yeah, code name GI Joe rather than just GI Joe, which is kind of interesting. I don't know why. That just intrigues me in itself.
It sounds like there should be more of a page count because it's collecting what, Cobra Commander 1 to 5 and
It's
GI Joe 1 to
just
5.
over 10 issues.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's your standard deluxe edition. Not too much
All
beef.
right. Interesting. Yeah, let me know how that is. It's
I
cool
will.
that a lot of these retro cartoon comic properties are getting some shine, especially republishing some of those classic like I still got to get to my GI Joe comic, that first compendium,
Oh yeah.
but I'm excited to because like we were talking about it, you feel like a kid again with the weight of it. It's not heavy. It just feels like those comics used to feel. I was tempted to try that with Transformers, which I was gonna list it tonight actually as an option for June because the compendium's coming out. Maybe I should just list it. Should I just talk about it?
It's your call, man.
Should we
I,
move
I
on to
will.
number five? Or yeah,
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
there was one thing. Meat Trunk says in the comments that the Duke Limited series was such a pleasant surprise. So I think I've heard a few people talking about it being quite good. So it's I think it's well worth a pick. So if you are intrigued by it and you want a more modern spin, it sounds like a good way to go. Since we're still waiting for the IDW stuff to be fully collected. That was
Right?
so good.
Okay.
I don't know if they ever will because apparently Chuck Dixon's upset a lot of people by having opinions on things.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have those.
No.
No. Okay. Very cool. Nice pick. All the stuff I missed. Well, I'm gonna go ahead with what I was mentioning before. Transformers Compendium Volume 1, Bob Budiansky, the Marvel stuff that was closely associated with the toy line and the cartoon and all of that, that in the mythology of Transformers lore, a lot of the stuff was built from here. Bob Budiansky gets a lot of credit for Transformers mythology, with Jim Shooter kind of giving him a little, do this, a little bit of this, go for it. As if you want to listen in our archives to the Jim Shooter interview, it's a good one. But Dave, you're the Transformer guy here. I
Hi.
know that you've got your favorite Transformer series here and there, that not all of them are equal. But what would you say about this one as a guy like myself going in blind on it?
Going in blind, don't expect a lot. I think the thing that will be good is the really good stuff. So there's likely to be 2 compendiums for this, and then they should be following it up with 2 compendiums of the Marvel UK run, and then the 2 slot together.
Okay.
So you can just read the Marvel US stuff, or you can read it with the whole lot combined. For anyone that wants to do that, obviously I'm going to do a reading order because I freaking love Transformers, and I'm from the UK. Perfectly
Hey.
placed.
How the hell are you?
But they've just finished a Kickstarter on Quickstarter, and there were a few different versions of a box set of those 4 compendiums together. And you could either get like the Decepticon set or the Autobot set, and you could get volumes 1 and 2 of the US, volumes 1 and 2 of the UK in either red or purple.
Did you get it?
Also an option, maybe there was also an option to have the combined version. So it's the whole lot with the Marvel UK and Marvel US integrated as it was when I was a kid, but over the 4 compendiums, which is just like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, hello.
You gave it the hey, how are ya? You're
Oh, I
coming home with
did.
me.
Oh yeah, I had a proper chest burster moment then.
Um, would you? I guess it wouldn't matter because our dollar is different. I wasn't sure what the cost of like the options of those tiers of Kickstarter
Yeah,
were.
it
Were they
depends where you're
priced
from.
differently? If the ones that you got being in that order is it a
It's the
more of a
same. It's the
premium?
same price for whichever variation because it's 4 compendiums in a box. It's like they just made it the same price for whichever version you wanted. The thing that was interesting though is because of all the shenanigans in America. You know, if you looked at the price at the start of the Kickstarter, it was actually a lot less by the end of Kickstarter because the dollar dropped.
Hmm, interesting.
But
So
it's
is it still
literally
is it
finished today, I think. At the time of recording this, it's just finished.
right?
I
All
did
right.
share some things on it on Instagram, but I didn't want to overdo it.
Yeah, but I mean, with that being said, um, I'm not 100% sure how committed I'll be to this, but it does, if I see it for sale, it does grab my attention because it is a sizable chunk of comics that you get all there. So you'll know what you're kind of in for.
Yeah.
So I'm interested.
If you like
Go along
80s
with these
cheese, dude,
veggies. I
it's
do.
super
I
cheesy.
like,
It's funny and weird, but it's not always doing it on purpose. And it just ends
that's
up being
okay.
that way. So if you like that kind of thing,
Yeah.
you may well get off on it. Not in a
A
dodgy
good
way.
old cheddar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Why
But
not?
where can
Right?
you go wrong? And then by the end of it as well, towards the end of the second compendium, Simon Furman, who was the Marvel UK writer, jumps over to America when Bob Budiansky left the title. So he wraps it up. And then that comes up with all sorts of time travel shenanigans and stuff. I love it in my own way, but I also do recognize that it's not necessarily the best stuff you'll ever read, and the art's not necessarily the best you'll ever see.
Sounds like a hidden gem to me. Gonna have to check
Everything
it out.
sounds like a hidden gem to you. Spider-Man #1?
Listen, do a power bomb is not like that. Come on now. Come on. Cut me some slack.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, that's my number five. Dave, what's your number five?
Okay, my number 5 is another surprise for me. It's one I've already got, so I'm not interested in getting it, but not in this format. So I'm going to finish on Alan Moore, which is something that every cliche fanboy's ever wanted to do. It's the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the Absolute Edition, massively oversized hardcover, as they normally are. It's the same page count as the Omnibus, which I do have. I was going to go grab it and I forgot because I'm a tit. It's the same page count, so it's 416 pages, which means it's likely to include, because it wasn't clear on the stuff I was looking at, the 1999 League of Extraordinary Gentlemen series, 1 to 6, the follow-up series in 2002, 6 issues as well, and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the Black Dossier. Boy
That thing
Alan
reads like
Moore.
that black dossier is just all text.
I can't remember. It's
There's a
been a
part
long
of that
time.
omnibus. There's a part of that omnibus where what's collected in it, what they include, the text of it, it's just prose with a couple of illustrations here or
I
there, but
think
a
you're right.
lot of prose.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's more intimidating than trying to read the Bible. It's like, how much words are on this
Well,
page?
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even. I mean, it's in there, but the first 2
Is it
minis,
essential?
particularly now, the first 2 minis are great, and you get Kevin O'Neill's art. It's Kevin O'Neill, and it's from when
I gotta read it.
Alan Moore was doing ABC Comics, America's Best Comics, which is weird. 'Cause it's 2 British creators on the series,
Posers.
but the second series is I thought it was so much better than the first series. So I
Okay.
think one of the things that some people have pointed out, not a lot of fanboys point this out, but you do get people that kind of go, you do realise that none of Alan Moore's creations are actually original, or very, very few. And again, with this,
No.
he's taken
He's the greatest of all
pre-existing
time.
literary characters and turned them into like an Avengers team. But it
Because you don't get
works.
it.
So I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm Alan Moore. So, yeah, with my hingy fingers. He's got those hingy things on his fingers, isn't he? Look at me, how different I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of him, but I can't deny how good this book is. I
Yeah,
loved it.
absolutely. Good book's a good book.
I
It needs
loved
to
it.
be nice. Well, we did it again. Another incoming
Oops.
top 10. Dave, do you got any left over that didn't make the cut or almost made the cut but just decided against it
There are two things
last
I'll
minute?
mention. One was you were talking about Superman earlier, and there's a Superman Legacy box set. I don't have the thing to hand, but it looks like it includes All Star Superman, Kingdom Come. Oh shit! There's 4 Superman stories.
Birthright?
I'm gonna. Do you know what? Hold the phone.
That's okay.
Oh fuck! My mouse has just died. Don't do that.
That's great. I love all this Superman stuff coming out. It's like a
Right,
childhood dream.
bear with me a second. I'm gonna have to use my backup mouse because it's being a prize bell end.
Aha, there it is. By Alan Moore. Of course, his name is the one that's listed. Superman box set.
Oh yeah, because it's okay.
All Star for all seasons. Batman oh yeah, Superman for all seasons. Whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, Kingdom Come.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good set.
That's a really good set. They're really good stories. So why wouldn't
pick.
you? You know, it's 808 pages. I kind of feel like it should have been on my list, but it wasn't because it's I don't know why it wasn't. I have no good reason. I don't know what size it is, but apparently it's a good size, so I've been told. Anyway, aside from that, I was going to mention one other thing, and that's the Captain America by Mark Gruenwald Omnibus Volume 2. If you want to get Gruenwald at his best, Volumes 1 and 2 are the books to get. There will probably be 2 more volumes. Stick to 1 and 2 if you want the best stuff on your shelf.
It's good stuff.
It's really good stuff.
It is. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's properly classic.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Properly classic. Even though I say it like a bellend, but
Like a what?
like a bellend.
A bellend.
Bollocks.
I'd say it like some kind of bellend. Like a bunch of mother flippers.
The one thing I was about to list, which would have been pretty obvious, is Geiger Volume 3 by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank,
Good spot.
from the Ghost Machine brand. I haven't read it, but I'm going to read it and collect it in some format. So it's coming out June 17th, Volume 3. And I think this would collect. It actually doesn't go collect a lot of issues as far as the main series is concerned, if memory serves. Yeah. Geiger 7 to 9, and then Geiger Sound 0, 1 and 2. So
Sound
it's a good
Zero.
page count. Yeah.
It's a weird
It's
title.
160 pages, and I think it gives you a little bit of a prelude to what happens in between that first series of when the bomb goes off, if you will, and it kind of fills in the gap of some misplaced time, if I understand the description well enough. The other thing I would have wanted to talk about was Lazarus, the fourth collection. I really like this series. I'm happy that it's finally. Had the first three,
Oh yeah.
first 3 or 2, and I let them go. I wish I didn't. I'm looking forward to this compendium. That is a definite purchase. Whenever that'll be listed in the incoming. This is a great series, Lazarus. Really enjoy this.
And it's Ground Zero. Sorry to interrupt you, dude. It was Ground Zero. I think someone's typoed on the version you're looking at. So it was Geiger 7
What did I say?
Geiger Sound Zero, but it's Ground Zero.
Oh no, it's Ground Zero. I just said it because I'm an idiot.
A bell end.
I'm a bellend. Yeah.
I just want you
My
to
eyes
say
are
bell end
bollocks.
again.
Bellend. I'm a bellend. Horror. It's a horror when I try my English accent. I can actually do a good one if I put my mind
If
to
no
it.
one's in the room.
No, I can. I can, Dave. I'm telling you.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, that's it. That's
I can
all
do a
that
really
was.
good Canadian accent.
Yeah, from Brooklyn.
That's in Canada, right?
Yeah, right next door. Anything else to mention before we sign off?
Not really. Just to. Oh, wait a minute. If you've stayed this long, good for you. Drop a comment in the comments.
Uh-huh.
if you do drop a comment in the comments, you'll be eligible to potentially win these books. So it's the Gunganir books. They very kindly sent us some copies, and I thought, you know what would be nice is if we offer them as a giveaway. So these two are kind of graphic novels. They're collector editions, but they come in these really fancy box sets, and then you get
Beautiful.
your book inside. This is a novel from Gunganir, and it's co-written by the creator of Final Space, the animated series film. Forward as always. So if you would like to win these, drop a comment in the comments and then like and subscribe. Make sure you're liking and subscribing, and I will check. Cheeky little.
I'm gonna like and subscribe
minxes.
right now. I want one.
You can't
Commenting.
have 'em. You mustn't be
commenting.
a host of the show.
Man.
But yeah, so if you do that on our YouTube rather than anywhere else, if you do it on YouTube on this video, that would be marvelous. And otherwise, just
Nice.
recommend us, like Eric said earlier. Just let people know that we do exist.
Yes. Second to none. Reading lists.
I'll take that.
We're gonna make a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Second to none.
Second to none.
Be sure to visit us, omniversecomics.guide. Hit that rate and subscribe button on YouTube, on any podcast platform that you're listening to. We appreciate the support. Spread the word, omniversecomics.guide.
Yeah.
Dave, I bid you adieu.
I bid you adieu also, sir. Tutty bye.
Bell end.
Bollocks. Bye, everyone. Cheers for watching.